Hi, kids, moms, and dads. I hope you're doing great. The last Bible story we looked at was about Noah, and you remember that there was a flood, and Noah and his wife and his 3 sons and their wives were all saved from the flood. Well, the earth didn't have any people on it after that, so they re-inhabited it. Today, the name of our story is A Giant Staircase to Heaven, and this took place after Noah and his family began to repopulate the world. A giant staircase to heaven, and it's found in Genesis 11. Maybe your mom and dad can read you some more details, but it reads, Noah and his family lived in the land, and his children had children, and those children had more children, and then those children had even more. Well, you get the picture, until there were lots of people on the earth once more. Now, back then, everyone spoke the exact same language, so you didn't need to learn Swahili or Japanese or anything, because you could say hello to anyone and they knew exactly what you meant. One day, everyone was talking and they came up with an idea. Let's build ourselves a beautiful city to live in. It can be our home and we'll be safe forever. Then they had another idea. They said, and let's build a really tall tower to reach up to heaven. See all the different peoples the artist drew on that picture? So they said, and let's build us a really tall tower to reach up to heaven. Yes, they said. We'll say, look at us up here, and everyone will look up at us, and we'll look down on them, and then we'll know that we are really something. We'll be like God. We'll be famous and safe and happy, and everything will be all right. So they got to work. Brick by brick, the tower grew higher and higher until it soared above all the city, touching the sky. They built stairs in the tower to climb to the top. It was like a giant staircase to heaven. Have you ever seen a big, tall skyscraper? That must have been what this was like. Look, they cheered, we're the ones. See what we can do with our very own hands? They were quite pleased with themselves. But God wasn't pleased with them. God could see what they were doing. They were trying to live without him. But God knew that wouldn't make them happy or safe or anything. If they kept on like this, they would only destroy themselves. And God loved them way too much to let that happen. So he stopped their plans. Here's a picture. See what the artist did? The big tower. So he stopped their plans. One morning, they went to work as usual, but everything seemed to be different. Their words were all new and funny. You see, God had given each person a completely different language. Suddenly, no one understood what anyone else was saying. Someone would say, "How do you do?" And another person thought they said, "How ugly are you?" It wasn't funny. You could be saying something nice, like "Such a lovely morning," and get punched in the nose because they thought you said, "Hush up, you're boring." It wasn't easy to work together after that. As you can only imagine, people were always quarreling and fighting and getting in a dreadful muddle and becoming grumpier and grumpier until at last they were too cross with each other to keep on building. They just had to stop. See the picture? Have you ever been somewhere where someone spoke a different language and you wondered what they were saying, like the grocery store or somewhere? This was kind of like that. After that, the people scattered all over the world, which is how we ended up with so many different languages to this day. You see, God knew however high they reached, however hard they tried, people could never get back to heaven by themselves. People didn't need a staircase. They needed a rescuer, because the way back to heaven wasn't a staircase. It was a person. People could never reach up to heaven, so heaven would have to come down to them. And one day it would, and it did. Remember? His name is Jesus. He made a way for us to get to heaven. Next time we're going to look at another story called The Son of Laughter. Join us again. God bless. Bye.